Hello guys. Yeah, yesterday I did show you how to make this bannock, and yeah, now I'm on my way to my favorite spot in the woods just for a day out, and bear with me. Yeah, we got some blackberries already on the way here in a more sun floated area. I already plucked one or two. So, but the majority is still green. It's midday, and I reached actually the outskirts of my favorite spot. Yeah, in the background, there you see lots of brambles, actually blackberries, and occasionally there are some already eatable. The majority is still black and getting pinkish, yeah. But I'm on the way here. There were some more shaded areas where the buds actually were not as thick than here in the sun floating area. So, and I found some hazelnuts. They're still green, and would give it another month or two, and can collect hazelnuts, wild hazelnuts, and may roast them on the campfire. Yeah, I tell you what, summer isn't as bad, but autumn getting even better. I mean, springtime is nice for walking around, still cool enough, but summer is awkward, part of the sun. But autumn is going to be, yeah, much more pleasant. Had a bit a mile to walk to get here, out of town. Ooh. And yeah, having a bit of drink. Yeah, I haven't introduced you to one of my other refreshment kit. Yeah, it's a Bota, the original Spanish Bota, like Bota. It's a leather bag, yeah, and it's exclusively made out of goat skin, yeah. And on the inside, to make it waterproof, it's what they call patch. Patch is like tar, yeah, but well, it's pine tar, yeah. The Mediterranean pines, they got much bigger, larger cones, and they produce lots of sap and resin, and that's what they're using in Spain in a very traditional manner to make this leather wine bottles waterproof, well, wine-proof, yeah, so they don't leak. And this is, I own this quite for a while. Want to get into that a bit. I bought that years and years ago in Spain, ordered that in Spain. It's Jesus something. I have to look it up and put it on the descriptions below the video where you can get them. And this is the antique type. Yeah, they do the modern one with the bladder in it. Yeah, you still got the leather skin, but with the artificial like latex skin on the inside, yeah, so you can remove the bladder and clean it, and it's actually, you can fill it up with anything, even sweet drinks, yeah. But the original, they were meant for water and wine, in particular for wine. So because it's a purely organic layer on the inside, yeah, like a rubberized resin, pine tree resin, and it's when it warms up, it's still, well, it stays flexible, it's not cracking like other pine resin may do, yeah. So before I filled it up, I had to warm it up a bit, like putting warm hot water in and wiggle it about a bit, and then fill it up with cold water in my case. so it's still soft and doesn't crack, so it remains waterproof. There's a seam. It's basically made out of one piece of leather. There's a seam only halfway or 3/4 the way down to there, and the rest is just folded up, stitched around, turn it inside out and fill it up with resin and let it pre-dry, and then yeah, that's my Spanish Bota. I thought, well, it's not much different to the Hydro Pack plastic ones, and actually I must admit the taste of the water is definitely better than from the Hydro Pack, yeah, the plastic ones, even if they are food safe, yeah. It still tastes plastic, while this one is like neutral. Well, I got a little bit of tree taste to it, but it's not unpleasant, yeah, and adds to my classic kit today. And yeah, so it's actually just to show you up a bit about the lid before I go into the woods. This lid contains out of two parts. One is a little lid on the top with a little hole where you just seen the bubble, and so just like a jet, just yeah, you just drink off the stream that comes out there. A very thin stream, so actually it prevents you from drinking too much. It's just enough to get some moisture in your mouth and just feel alright. So the other part is, it's actually the larger thread, yeah, so you can take that apart, and it's because this is a classic one, the screw thing is not from plastic, it's the old classic bakelit, yeah, which was invented during the Second World War, I guess, and lots of the German army stuff were actually, before they had proper plastic, they used bakelit as a plastic, well, pre-plastic replacement, whatever. Actually the plastic is a replacement for the bakelit, yeah, and well, it's prone to crack, yeah, because it's very, well, sort of brittly, yeah, so that's why I guess they went to the cheaper plastic over the time. But yeah, so this is a classic one. It's a 1.5 liter. It's the right size for as a canteen for just sling around, and yeah, that's what I'm using now. And I only got my titanium bottle, which is a 800 milliliter, so I got just above 2.5 liter, about 2.5 liter of water for day trip. And yeah, it's midday, and I wanted to put the hammock up, and yeah, having a snack with my Dragon Bannock. Yeah, I may heat it up or just warm it up on my skillet, the titanium skillet, and have a bit of chill out in the shade. Yeah, and trying out my woolly hammock. That's the main purpose. Yeah, get the woolly hammock up, and because I figured out a different option to tie the ends together, and I want to try that out for stability. And instead of having the hammock diagonal, I'm gonna hang it in a classic way, you know, like the long ends, and getting them together and show you that. This is a sign, actually. I put it up all over the place because it's the nearby outskirts of the town, yeah? And people tend to let their dogs loose, yeah? But this says, well, it's dedicated for wildlife, yeah? And in favor, it means in favor for wildlife, keep your dog on a leash, yeah? But people don't. They still don't do it. And it's a bit of a shame. And well, I had a bit of rant about that a couple of times. I'll just keep it short. I just wanted to mention, yeah, they put the signs up, but people still ignore it. Yeah, and well, again, this is actually the exact spot I've been doing all these winter videos with the gloves. Yeah, there's this fallen oak tree in the background, and looks much different than it used to be in autumn, winter time. Yeah, it's all green and fresh, so and it's well covered. So yeah, setting up camp here just for chill out. I mean, it's like damp, like wooden dampish feeling to the air, yeah, but it's still yeah, it's not hot, like, you know, and unfortunately no breeze, and it's just a bit stuffy, but definitely better than in the blazing sun. Yeah, there are actually mozzies down there. There was one big horsefly already on my arm, so I haven't got a mozzie net, but well, let's see. Oh, I tell you, it's nice to have something to drink. So I take it easy, set up camp. I don't rush. I just put my gear on the side somewhere, yeah, and while like observing, or take my time observing the environment, yeah, the surrounding, slowly starting clearing the tiny area I need, like clearing the nettles out, yeah, taking a glove, that's where the working gloves coming in very handy, just to rip the nettles out, clear the ground, just enough, but not overdoing it. Not chopping trees or anything, just clear the nettles, the brambles and the loose rotten branches away, and that's it basically. And while I'm doing this, I'm actually still, you know, like having an eye on the surrounding. If it's sort of safety precaution, eventually it's just a habit, yeah, because for overnight and in unknown territory, it's always good to know where are potentially risks around, you know, like to keep a special eye on it, or where it's safe to walk around, yeah, not to disturb any local people, yeah. You don't want any attraction, and so I keep quiet, talk quiet, not too loud hopefully, and yeah, do my business, set up slowly. It's plenty time. So it's another thing, while I'm hiking, I'm not waiting or walking, hiking up to the last minute before getting dark. I start very early in the late afternoon, yeah, find a nice spot and settle down and just, you know, and it's just a habit. Getting the other glove out. So, 2 more tree hugger. Yeah, I usually keep them in my glove, because it's something, the first I take out and hang the gear up, and need the gloves for doing stuff. Yeah? So it's handy to have at hand. And, doing a bit wild gardening, you know? Yeah, I could make use of the nettles, like the nettle tea but it's midsummer and it's well, it will do for, but another good reason for just doing this sort of temporarily resting place. Yeah, I'm not camping. Yeah, I'm just having a rest. Yeah, so it's a bare minimum I'm taking out. Bare minimum of equipment I'm taking out. You know, like just having something dry to sit on, something to drink, maybe something to eat. But the main camp things like hammock and well, we can take out a blanket, yeah, and but don't set up your hammock right away, or a tarp. Well, you can put up a tarp if it's raining or like expect it to be wet, yeah, but don't overdo it in case some wildlife, well, let's say hunters or the local farmer or whoever owns the land having a spook in the woods, and or whatever, the occasionally lost dog walker, yeah, you're just having a rest. And you got caught up in the weather and it's so hot, you know, like, or it's too wet, and whatever, you just need, yeah, it's for your own healthy, yeah, and and enjoy and watch the surrounding, listen to nothing, or well, that's lots to listen to. The birds often they come very close and just having a little bit of song, yeah, and if you keep quiet, you can watch them very closely, especially robins and other little birds in the woods, you know, like they come along and they even get nosy if you may got some snack for them, you know, like if you steer up some insects or stuff. So they're interested in you and want to know what's that animal down there, you know, like, and so they're curious about, yeah, and yeah. Ooh. Easier and convenience if you got everything in its bags, you know what it is, where it is, and get it out, and not all of it at once. There, my trusty old, well, it's not old, I use that kettle in Finland, yeah, quite extensively. It's still in the same condition as I put it in there. So using that one, having a tea, and warm up a bannock, and let's call it lunch. Yep. Had a bit of late addition, some waterproof matches. I'm not doing open fire as like, you know, like a wood fire. I just use a hobo with the alcohol stove, and that will do to keep quiet. It's faster cooking than I expected. This is much faster than I expected. Okay, so let's put a Bannock on there. Bannock. Yeah, let's have the nice one. Yeah, the Bannock from yesterday, and that fits right in there, in that skillet there. So just give it a little bit of heat up. Tea. Yeah, got a little bit too much in there. Can't blow it out. Have to wait until it's burned down. Yeah, so today I'm making use of my tea and sugar bag. Yeah, the DIY one, which I made in winter, and yeah. Well, it's still a brown sugar from Finland. Yeah, that'd be right, quite sweet one. There. Yes, a dragon Bannock. Yeah, it's absolutely delicious. And it's warmed up. Absolutely delicious. So yeah, I have to recommend that, and gonna do that more often. absolutely recommended and worthwhile doing it. Didn't took much effort yesterday just to make this up. On the inside, if I crack that open, that, see there's some, well, you probably wouldn't notice, but there's the meat inside, in the middle. Oh. Nice. Worth the effort. A nice cup of tea. And spicy hot dragon Bannock. It's a bit sticky between the teeth. But other than that, can't complain at all. It was nice having a bit of tea and a snack. Like the Bannock. It's definitely morale booster. So I was thinking about, should I put a hammock up or not? I mean, it's still too early, but I want to try it out and how that works. So I found here this tree again, and yeah. So, for the woolly hammock, I actually, let's put me that a bit on the shoulder. I changed a bit the setup, like in my winter video I did show you how to rub the edge on a diagonal way, like turning over, having a loop, but I found out hanging in a diagonal shape, it doesn't really works out for comfort very much. So I decided to try something else. Let's me unravel that. Alright, so I got my Whoopie-sling on here, so this is basically the long ends, this is a 3 meter by 1 meter, 3 meter length and 1 meter 50 wide, so instead of having a diagonal, I'm going in a full length like you would do with the classic hammock. And this is a ridge line, and so what I did, I just folded that up like in a kilt-like fashion, like zigzagging, and the knot is basically the same as I did on the turnover thing. But I'm not sure if that's tight enough, so this is a bit an experiment today. I need my tree hugger, but basically, the Whoopie-sling, there's a little shackle on the end, the tree hugger, and that continues on the other hand, so that gives me the shape of of a bathtub, yeah, like the classic hammock, and sleeping in diagonal, laying, yeah, to keep on a straight level, yeah. So I have to put my tree hugger up first. The tree hugger, just as I did with the Hennessy hammock, basically using the Hennessy hammock, going over the thingy, up, create an 8, yeah, and just carry on, and it gives a nice knot without slipping, yeah, so you really can hang on to that, and I found it's the easiest. I tried the marlin hitch, yeah, I found it a bit complicated, honestly. It probably works pretty well once you got the hang on it, but I found the Hennessy knot, yeah, like the 8 wrapping, or wrapping just in an 8-like fashion around itself, proves very well. And I use it in months in Turkey and in the Balkan, and every time I've been out, and so I got so used to it, I use that one for now again. This is a, you could call it the second edition of the woolly hammock. Well, actually the third, yeah. The first one was the test before it actually was finished. Then the second one was last winter when I put it up diagonal, yeah, at the same spot, almost the same tree. And now I'm on the classic setup, yeah. Still the ridge line on it. It's actually exactly the same, and well, let's see. So if ooh, lovely, lovely, and try to show you. See, it's actually like zigzagged, yeah, like the wrapping of a kilt, yeah, and the knot is basically just holding on tension, yeah. So this is the ridge line, giving actually another counter tension to the, this is just the endless loop wrapped around, where the Whoopie-sling is just slotted into, and the ridge line actually creates another loop which pulls them the other way. But I mean, this is only 2-inch here. Yeah, look, it's just the length of my index finger is actually trapped. Yeah, and that's 1.50 m material just wrapped up, yeah, and hold together like that. and yeah, having a lay into that, and but it proves, well, at least it looks like it's going to be much more comfortable than the diagonal setup. So put my boots off and get into it. Let's see. It's definitely comfortable. Let's see. Wow, that's definitely how it's supposed to be. Ooh, lovely. So yeah, this is basically the classic hammock setup. And laying in the hammock diagonal rather than with a ridge line, yeah, and actually it's about so that it gives me plenty room and lots, yeah, as you can see, and it doesn't even tips over. That's the trouble I had with the diagonal wrapping. It was always a bit on the tipping side, but this one, oh yes, that's how it's supposed to be. I'm very happy with this setup. I don't know if you can see that, you know, still the reinforced Dynamere thread. This is basically the center, yeah, and I'm getting in diagonal. Ooh, this is a treat. Yeah. So I got my woolly hammock finally set up, yeah, with a ridge line, and so what I'm gonna do next, yeah, was part of the plan right from the beginning, because the regarding a sleeping bag, yeah. I got a down sleeping bag, and it was quite expensive, actually two, yeah, and I found out neither of them were warm enough, yeah, even if I put one inside of the other one, and then I thought, well, it's too much weight, and then I took the feathers out of the thinner one and stuffed them into the individual channels of the heavier one, yeah. So that worked up to a certain degree, but down as a feather down is quite, well, yeah, it's a nice material, but the nylon is awkward, and I always had trouble with the chest here, with the chest area of this down sleeping bag, because by the condensation and breathing, yeah, the chest area actually get moisture, yeah, so the feathers get sort of damp, wet actually, yeah, and then it starts freezing. So I tried to go around with that by having another jacket on, having a jumper on at night, yeah, and wrapping my wetter flag around, Additionally, so which is basically like a thinner blanket, yeah, double layered blanket. And and the sleeping bag, it's about 600-700 gram, yeah, which is quite a good weight actually, but it doesn't do any good for keeping warm, yeah. So I got the heavier material of this one. This particular one, yeah, which is the same Loden, the felted Loden Melton wool, than the hat, my Lopo jumper thing, yeah, the anorak thing, the wetter flag, yeah, the coat, cloak, yeah, it's the same quality, same material. So I got another 2.5 meter of the premium one, which is an instead of, this is 360 gram per square meter, and the premium one is 570 gram per square meter, yeah. And I got 2.5 meter by 1.5 meter sheet, yeah, and this is a perfect blanket size. So since I'm now having a warmer hammock, yeah, which is from wool, yeah, nice warm wool, which can compensate moisture, yeah, compared to the nylon. The DD hammock, nylon hammock, can't cope with moisture, and you get, as soon there's a little bit of breeze underneath, you get a cold back, which I hope doesn't happen with this one. And the body condensation can taken up by the wool, yeah, and even if the wool is like feeling damp, it still keeps you warm, yeah. I just got the merino wool t-shirt here, and so the idea is having then the Loden blanket, which is much more dense than this one actually, and using that instead of the sleeping bag. Additionally to the wetter flag as a coat and over blanket, yeah, so it doubles up, layered up, and I'm gonna see how that works in autumn. I mean, winter probably is a different story, because you can't beat volume, yeah, fluff. The more fluff, the warmer you can stay, yeah. And since there's not that much fluff on it, but can cope with moisture much better than nylon and down. So this is yeah, something I'm continue to work on, and yeah, but for now I was keen on trying the hammock out. Yeah, you can see how much room I got here in the woolly hammock without tipping, and you know, and yeah, the knotting up on the ends actually works out as far I can see. I don't think there would anything moving rather than getting tight. And if you look it up, look, I'm fairly close to the ground, but it's still a foot, 1.5 foot off the ground, yeah. And I can grab my stuff, yeah, have my cup and my knife and whatever, having a drink, yeah, and got everything close by, and yeah, having a nice hangout. Oh, what a lovely day. Oh, you should do that more often. Oh yeah. Can't beat a hammock. Yeah. So this See? Yeah, hanging out in a hammock. I haven't got a clue what time it is. I haven't got a watch. I didn't took my mobile, and the clock on the camera is probably out of date. So I haven't got a clue what time it is. But who cares? How much space actually is in this hammock. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, look how much space in there, and it's rock solid. Absolutely perfect. It's going to be my favorite, and yeah, worth the extra weight. So I got much more insulation, yeah, and silky warm if the whole lot getting a bit moisture, yeah, because it's 100% wool, and oh, I really like that. And you see, there's some space to rub up into, yeah, and that's just without a top blanket, just a hammock. Yeah, if I put a like safety pin up here, yeah, probably would do for a nice summer night without an extra blanket. Yeah, it's like a cocoon. And yeah, the other way around. It's needs to be a bit. See, got a bit of shelter here, and oh, definitely worth it. Yeah. So, what can I say? Nothing. Just enjoy. Yeah, that was worth the effort. Stitching all this dynamite into the fabric, and yeah, I must admit it's a little bit more weight than like a modern hammock, yeah, just like a nylon hammock, but well, everything has a up and a downside, and yeah, there you go, got my cocoon without an extra blanket, just needed some safety pins, and I couldn't do that with a nylon, and I don't know what it is. This is only 10 centimeter wider than the DD hammock, which is 140, and this is 150, but maybe this is a tad longer, that makes it extra, I don't know, but yeah. Doesn't chill. I mean, that's what I can say. I haven't got a sleeping pad or anything, it's just a t-shirt, yeah, and I'm a bit sweaty, so but I can't feel the chill of the breeze underneath, which is a good thing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I wanted to show you the nice knot coming out in the light, quite nice. And let's see how the other side looks like. So yeah, as you can see, it's almost like a flower, but that's all it is. Just zigzagged, folded up, and knot that, wrap it around, and that's it. And it holds tight, like nothing will slip. It's nothing gonna slip. And yeah, the benefit is I can still use that hammock as a blanket, but just undoing the wrapping of the knot, yeah, of the Hennessy, the Whoopie-sling, take it off, and I got a nice blanket which I can fold up, yeah, in multiple layers as a sleeping pad on the harder ground if I can't put a hammock up. So it saves me carrying an additional sleeping pad, yeah, which was the plan right from the beginning, or the idea of it, yeah. As you can see, had a bit yeah, it was a bit an experiment again, yeah, and I think I call it a day for this video. There's probably more to come, but well, I'm a bit lazy lately, I know, providing more videos, but yeah, there will be more to come occasionally. And well, the summer trip, well, the spring trip, actually I dropped that, and eventually yeah, doing an autumn trip instead. And well, I'm in the mood, but well, the main message is out, and well, have fun yourself in the woods, and enjoy your time out, and take care, and whatever, have fun.